I want to now introduce the party leader to give his opening address.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Enfield. My first thoughts this morning are with those families and households throughout this country who have been so badly damaged by the recent spell of bad weather, by storms, by floods. And I want to begin by expressing my thanks and appreciation to the utility workers, the public servants, and the volunteers who have worked to help out people who found their homes and their businesses flooded during the course of the past number of weeks. And I want to express too my thanks to Joan Burton for being so fast in coming forward with the emergency funding to help people, and Brendan Howland for making the finance available to provide assistance to those families who have been so badly affected by flooding and by the bad weather. This time 3 years ago, we were in the middle of the general election campaign. And you will recall that it was a historic outcome for the Labour Party, making us the second largest party in the Dáil for the first time. And the Irish people gave us a mandate to fix the crisis that the country was then facing. You remember what that was like. The country was broke. Nobody would lend us money. The Troika was installed in the Merrion Hotel. People who had a bit of savings were taking it out and changing it into sterling. Unemployment was heading for 500,000 people, and people were genuinely fearful about what the future would hold for them. We told people in that election that we would lead this country out of the bailout, and we have delivered. We told people in that election that we would renegotiate the terms of that bailout, and we delivered, reducing the interest rate and saving the taxpayer of this country 20 billion euros in payments. We told people in that election that we thought it was wrong that the Irish taxpayer would have to pay 3 billion euros every year into a dead bank, and we liquidated the bank and we stopped that payment, and we delivered on that too. We made the case during that general election that in an economic crisis it's not enough to rebalance your budgets, that you have to also have a strategy for jobs and growth, and we insisted on that in the economic policy of the government, and that is why last year this country created 58,000 jobs, and why almost 10,000 new jobs have been advertised in this country since the beginning of this year. And in doing that, and we managed to do that while at the same time maintaining the threshold of decency that this party has always stood for, refusing to reduce core rates of social welfare, refusing to allow this country become a low-wage economy, restoring the minimum wage, taking over 300,000 people out of the universal social charge, and most importantly, creating the jobs that will underpin recovery in this country. And even in the most difficult of times, this party succeeded in building 2,700 new classrooms, taking children out of the cold, damp prefabs that Fianna Fáil left them in, even in the good years when money was plentiful. And as we have come out, and as we are coming out of the bailout, we are now into the next phase of this recovery. Because for the Labour Party, economic recovery is not just about economic indicators. Economic recovery is about what it does for the lives of people, ensuring that people have a job, that children have a future, that there's decent education and health services. Economic recovery for us is recovery for a purpose, and it is a purpose which is about making the lives of the people that we represent better. And that is why this year, 2014, is going to be so important in this economic recovery journey, because this is the year which will shape how this country is developed in post-recession Ireland. And we want this country to be shaped in post-recession Ireland not by a return to the past, not by a return to the years of boom and bust and all that went with that, but by building a sustainable economy, a sustainable recovery that will ensure that our people have a decent quality of life, have jobs, have homes, and have a future for their children. And that is why In the budget last October, we made the first step in that by ensuring that the adjustment was eased on working families. And we made the first steps also, which we will carry through into this year, of giving some breaks to families, like what Alex White is doing in bringing in the legislation that will provide for the free GP care for children under 6. Like what Rory is doing in easing the financial pressure on parents and on families in sending their children to school. Like what Brendan is doing in providing the finance for the building of the National Children's Hospital and for the expansion of our education service. That's what it's about. Economic recovery is not just about economic indicators. Economic recovery is for a purpose to provide a better life for our people. And as we go out now in the next number of months and talk to people about the forthcoming local and European elections, we can do so, I believe, with a degree of confidence. We can do so, first of all, because we have already achieved the first phase of recovery. We have taken the country out of the bailout, and we will not take any guff from Fianna Fáil, who put the country into the bailout in the first place, or from Sinn Féin, whose daft economics would put us into a second bailout. This party has always had the courage to face up to a crisis, to face up what needs to be done, and to get about in doing it. We have shown that over the past 3 years, and I'm confident that we will show that again now in the coming local and European elections. I don't know how many times we were told in the course of the past 3 years that it couldn't be done. We couldn't get out of the bailout. We wouldn't deal with the prom note. We wouldn't manage to create jobs. We have done it. If politics is the art of the possible, then the Labour Party is the specialists in doing the impossible, and let's do it again.